All right, new show to the channel. I'm Patrick Ramirez. That's Dan Dowling on the other side. We're two comedians here in Los Angeles, but we're also very avid cycling fans. It
Mhm.
only took me about 8 years to meet another cycling fan in the comedy community.
Mhm.
And we're talking the Giro in this new segment. It's called 10 Minutes of Giro. Giro started yesterday. We're going to do twice a week. That's what we're shooting for anyway. The Giro's very long. We're going to do our best. And today's stage two. A lot happened. So, Dan, Giro just started. How are you feeling right off the bat with this Grand Tour? Because we have a lot of riding ahead of us.
Well, I mean, it's pretty exciting time, I guess, with the whole what Tade's prompted to do. I will say personally, I mean, we're already 2 days in, and I'm feeling a little fatigued. I mean, watching this much Italian television, my hands just start going. I've been
Are you?
talking to my hands all week. Yes.
I always joke like all these Grand Tours, all these races are essentially Chamber of Conference commercials for the Department of Transportation and Visitation because you watch it and you're like, I want to visit that place.
Yeah, I want to
Hey,
feel
look,
that
everybody
those
having fun
roads.
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know,
And
and here like in America, like the first question, because I followed cycling for years and years, like the first question is how do you actually watch the Giro? I just barely learned it's on HBO Max this year.
wait, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Australian feed.
Oh, and how did you come about getting that?
I was hoping you would ask that, Patrick.
Oh,
So
excellent.
yes, no, so
Excellent,
so
Daniel.
there's the Australian broadcast service, and you know me, a little bit of a hacker. So
Mm-hmm.
you do have to be able to sign on to the service. You do have to prove that you're Australian, but you can fool the system by throwing a beer at your computer while affectionately calling it the C word. It will just assume you're Australian at that point, and
Mm-hmm.
you're in. So
Wow.
that's
This is
great. Yeah,
inside knowledge from Dan
yeah.
right off the bat.
Podgy in the pink.
I've been watching it on my illegal torrent feed, which I've had good luck with over the last 6 or 7 years. Every now and again, a video will get blocked, it'll get geo blocked. But I
Uh,
watched it on that and I had a pretty good connection today. But yeah, HBO Max, I think, acquired Bleacher Report Sports this
oh,
spring. And they showed San Remo, they showed Strada Bianchi, they showed a lot of women's races. And then I got in a fight with HBO Max because I didn't want to pay the extra amount of dollars after my trial fee was over. So I canceled it. And now I think I have to go back to it because one of the coolest things about the HBO Max feed is they'll show you the post race studio show
oh,
with
that's what
Orla
Horner was
and
talking about watching Max. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what Horner was
yeah,
talking about
I
that.
listen to Horner too, and that's where it's like, oh, it's on Max. So that's pretty cool. You get an added bonus of being able to watch post race stuff like we have here in America with like post football, post basketball. You can get a little breakdown. So I might have to try and mend the fences and say I'm sorry to HBO Max.
Well, that might put me over the edge to actually sign up for it now because, like, you some HBO shows I really like, but now with the Giro, it puts it over the edge. I mean, I was about to sign up just to get that. I think there's that live webcam footage you get of Jason Momoa working out with HBO Max too, and
Oh, really?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, that with that in the Giro,
Interesting.
I'm good. Yeah,
Wow.
just
Okay, maybe.
applying oils to his body and hair.
We HBO needs a split screen option where you can watch one video and then put a little video in the corner
Yeah,
of
there
something
should
you just
always
want
be
to
a little Momoa on there, right?
just want to keep tabs on, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to do 10 minutes of Giro. We got two
All right.
stages to start talking with. I got some points I want to make. You got some points you want to make. So I'm going to start the clock. And we're going to see how we do. So here we go. 10 minutes are up. First thought on the Giro for me is, and I'm glad I listened to Lantan Rouge and they backed up my thought here. I don't know what the Intergiro jersey is. I don't know what the Ciclamina jersey is. I'm not even quite sure how the sprint points work down. There's too many jerseys out there. We got best young rider. I think we should throw in best old rider while we're at it. Just do you know the jerseys? Because I
No,
sure
I
don't.
do. The things you were saying, I thought you were calling me some kind of racial epithet or something like that. I was gonna slap you.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Maglia Rosa, obviously, but I was actually trying to and watching. I was like, oh, who's in the young jersey or something? But I
Yeah.
don't know what that is and what color it is.
I
Um,
don't either. I assume it's white, but I'm basing that off of the tour, so I could be totally wrong.
and I can never tell if someone's wearing like a special jersey or is just really Italian and just wears that anyways. It's like those like domestic Italian teams are gonna have like something weird going on usually with their jersey.
Right.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. We always discover two or three new teams we never even knew was a team
yeah,
in the tour and or in the Giro, I mean. And also like that goes for the Vuelta too. I'm like, what team is that?
yeah.
Huh. I never
They're
heard of
like, oh,
them.
like this guy, like yeah, it's like they're exclusively sponsored by like a regional drywall supplier or something like that.
I did a million years ago in my racing days. There was Tour Utah, and this was before it was a UCI race, and they had something called Best Local Rider, and it was basically any local in a rider with a zip code of the state, and that was it was like everybody's like 50th on down for local rider, but it was a big deal. Like they got another jersey to give out,
Mr.
so it was,
Utah, yeah,
yeah, it
that's
was
pretty
kind of
cool.
fun. It's like, yeah, so I was like, let's just give everybody jerseys. Whereas, like, this is best rider who's currently leasing a car, and there should be
Yeah,
that jersey. Why not?
we should get that. Yeah, worst best car, worst car. Did you get your Utah resident jersey at any
No,
point?
oh, I did not.
Okay.
Dan, I did not. And let me tell
All
you that
right.
right
Well,
now. 12 other people beat me out.
it was pretty good. Top 13.
Yeah, there you go. It's like I always say, whenever someone says, "How'd you do?" and they go, "Podium, third place." You got third.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
never second. It's never first. It's third.
Well, speaking of third place though, um, Mr. Toddy himself, I guess, started to a somewhat disappointing start yesterday, right? But
Yeah, you
really
think
turned
so?
things around today. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I was actually so confused because I listened to Chris Horner's whole, calling everyone a knucklehead, basically associated with whatever Toddy did yesterday, and at the same time, though, I was like, man, this is like no one really like it's such a weird start to a grand tour, right? To have, I mean, it's not obviously unheard of, but like we didn't get like a short little prologue where everyone can still party a little
Mm,
bit and warm up their legs. Like it was immediately this sort of very attack oriented stage with a series of climbs near the finish. No team really wanted to take over, aside from UAE, but they were kind
mm.
of just kind of halfway there, it seemed like. And then Tade's like, I'll just try my Tade thing, but didn't
Yeah.
happen to work for whatever reason yesterday.
It
But
seemed most everybody was critical of UAE doing so much early.
right.
So and he got second, but a nice little like Ineos win. I don't know if they've even won a race this year,
No,
to
I
be
mean, yeah, good for them, I guess.
to be
I
honest.
mean,
So they won, but I get nervous when we start hearing like, I wonder if Tade can take the jersey all Giro long. Like I get nervous. And like if that's the goal, oh my God, what is the stress on
yeah,
not
that seemed a little
only
intense.
Tade but the team itself?
I saw some comment from him today, though. He's like, "Oh, I just wanted to win a stage of the Giro and get that out of the way, and now that we have that, I'm gonna like." He's like, "Oh, I can chill out a little bit more."
Yeah, maybe
So
so. Because today was, it's weird. He won the stage, and after the race, I hear a lot of people like he didn't look like the strongest he's ever been. I was like, well, he did blow everybody up, but
yeah,
we're
I'm
still
like,
like, I've seen better.
right,
So strange, just so early into the race too, and like you said, like two stages in, and they were like already decisive, potentially GC days. And I mean, they do it on purpose. The Giro is always a little chaotic like that. I
right,
do like this year that the stages are not crazy long. They're hard and climby, but not
yeah,
like anywhere near the 180 Ks yet. We're now in the 140s, 160s. That makes it a little more fun, at least early on, I'm thinking, because it does seem like a party. And you're right, like the tour almost gives you a week of romance before.
right,
Flat stages, flat TTs, and then the second week it starts to dice up. Giro's just like, hey, here you go, get ready, buckle up.
right. With and there was no you know, we're gonna start in a different country this year, which adds to relaxes things
That's
even more.
true.
It seems like it's
Hmm.
just usually letting I don't know, but so I mean, I don't know. I was wondering too. Did you actually look at any numbers power wise or anything like that? I mean, was UAE really going all out in terms of trying to control things yesterday, or was it? I
I
mean,
didn't
I
see
mean, I
any
feel like
numbers.
they're
Yeah.
such a strong. I mean, they're you know markedly stronger than so many of the other teams that
Hmm.
sort of a sort of a halfway there day for them. might be a hard day for everyone else, but they're not necessarily emptying the tank or
Yeah.
impeding themselves from something in a few days' time.
Yeah,
So
it's weird because they want to control the race, but it's also nice to keep your main guy out of trouble, have him in the front. And I was kind of wondering, like, okay, they're strong, they got to do a lot of work on the front. I get all that. How many of these guys are also doing the tour? Like, is there any potential of burning out your guys trying to control so much Giro when they still have a tour to go? Or is that going to be an entirely different seven guys in the tour? I imagine there's some overlap. I haven't seen anybody speak to that yet.
yeah, it's, I mean, you got to think the big lieutenants are definitely going to be there, right? I mean, he's going to want
Hmm. Are
what's
they
his
doing
name,
the Giro though?
Rafael
Who's
Mike.
his
I
lieutenants?
mean, well, his name
Ayuso, Almeida.
Rafael. What was his Micah?
That's right.
Yeah,
Micah's in the Giro. He's a trusty guy.
and I can't. I mean, I don't know what his. I haven't seen what his schedule is, but I can't imagine that they're going to ask him to sit out the tour or something. If
Yeah.
especially if Tade goes in with a win after the Giro and says, "I
Hmm.
can think I can do this."
Yeah. Maybe the
So
goal is to wrap it up by like 6 minutes by the last week, and then just right at the back the rest of the
I know. Yeah,
race.
that's a good point. Maybe that is it. They're like, why don't we? Yeah, why don't we just obliterate
Yeah.
everyone now and then let them that control for minor
Yeah,
placings the rest
yell
of the
at us all
time?
you want, other teams, but hey, we got a tour to do. We already wrapped this
Yeah,
up.
we're tapering the rest of the race. So
Yeah, you guys can go for the triclamina tricolor quad
yeah,
color jersey,
yeah,
whatever, man. The Giro secret advertising geniuses.
I get it. Yeah,
Well, I guess the big story today was the Pogacar crash,
yeah.
which I gotta say was one of like the nicer rolls out of a crash I've seen. He did
Yeah,
a
it was
nice
smooth.
somersault.
We do. Although I don't have the agility for it anymore. But we do have to do something where we show that roll and then you roll up and advertise one of your comedy shows or something like
Oh,
that.
that's good.
Yes, it gets
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a nice, like, this is a nice, it's almost if it was like a 10% more of a heavy crash, this would have been what we would talk about for the next 5 days.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about, oh, did he hurt his shoulder? What was that one hand he hurt a year ago? And then we can hash the tubeless debate all over again. And we can
Well,
talk about
sub
tubeless and
debate, hookless.
hookless,
Yeah.
hookless. Right. Every 5 years, the cycling industry gives us a gem to argue about with our cycling friends, our
Right.
families, our local shops. It can be tubeless, it can be disc brakes. If you're old enough, it can be carbon. You know, you can go back through the
Mhm.
annals of history, and we need something to argue about
Right.
in the techie world. Be like, I don't use it, you use it, I don't use it, I don't
Yeah.
think it's worth it, and thus the argument will never end. So, any tubeless debate from you, Dan?
Um.
Would you say that caused the crash? Did it make the
All right.
crash worse? Because he definitely rolled that tire.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like straight up scared of hookless. Part of it is like I've tried hookless once or twice myself
Mm-hmm.
without like looking at rim tire compatibility, and
Yeah.
tires blew off. I didn't crash or anything,
Interesting.
but it was like scary, and I don't like
Mm-hmm.
being scared. So, I mean, I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. It seems kind of weird. I'm like, when you have a really good tubeless, bead connection, there's something very satisfying about hearing it click in and unclicking it with your thumbs when you need to change the tire.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how strong that is in terms of, really preventing a tire roll off, like what seemed to happen with Tade today. But like with the hookless, you're like, man, there's not even that little bit of a safety margin. It
Yeah.
feels like you're
Yeah.
so committed to kind of a minimal level of air pressure for holding the tire on. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there's a bunch of engineers that would say otherwise. So I'm a little scared of them.
You're a little scared. Yeah. I've used my hookless setup for over a year now. Luckily, it's been in good shape. I've gotten some flats for sure. The hardest part of the the hookless is when you do get a flat, trying to put an inner tube back in there on the road with your little pump, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna break my thumbs. I'm never gonna
Yeah.
get home. I'll just live here on the side of the road now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are notably harder to get on and off. I've noticed with
Very
my
hard.
little experience as well. So I mean, I guess that's peace of mind. But
Yeah, like think back of the years. Remember when we could debate SRAM with the Andy Schleck chain gate years ago?
mm,
We
mm,
could argue about SRAM. We could argue about electronic stuff years before that. Like this is what every Grand Tour needs is a mechanical controversy, and then we
I
can
also
argue about it.
I also like controversies based like now everyone's just eating like the synthesized processed carbohydrate products constantly.
Hmm.
No one's going to their local butchers anymore, so we're not getting any controversy from that anymore. Like I like
That's
that was
good.
my favorite Contador controversy. Was like no, I mean we had to we
Doping. We haven't had a
cross the
good doping
border.
one in a long time. You're right.
Yeah, but a meat-based doping was my favorite. I mean, there's nothing better
That's
than
good.
that. That's
I
very
ate
Spanish, right?
contaminated meat.
Yeah. What do you expect me to do? Not eat not eat meat from a local butcher, right? Like,
Well, we hit 10 minutes, but I don't
oh,
want to leave. I don't want to leave without this one point, Dan. Did you know? I'm adding a segment. Did you know? Did you know that Giro has a mascot? Did you see this in the feed today? It looks like Wile E. Coyote, and he
oh no,
dances.
I don't know
Yeah.
because all as I notice every Giro promotional shot is like there's like we need to put 6 hot chicks in this shot for some reason.
Oh, I saw that. The
A
dancing
little
chicks. Very
very
nice.
Italian, I guess. So I'm like, is it just any hot Italian woman? They're like, that's our
Hmm.
mascot,
There
and we
was
get to
a
film you.
there was a hot Italian woman, and I think she would hold the trophy every stage. And she was like, I looked her up. She was like an Italian supermodel. And I
Oh,
think she did 1 or 2 years of it. And it just could not be more of an Italian supermodel than this woman. And she would just hold the trophy every stage. And yeah, I looked her up. I looked up her name, found her on Instagram. I haven't seen her yet. I wonder if she's back. I wonder what happened there.
yeah, I did
Needs
notice
to be.
the one time I borrowed your computer. Most of your searches were about looking up women, their
Hmm.
whereabouts, where you could find them,
Yeah, that's my
that
burner
kind of
computer,
thing.
Dan.
Right? Yeah. So, oops, yeah.
I call that my travel computer. It's a laptop, goes in my pocket. No
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Okay.
We'll cut all this out. All right, before we get out of here, tomorrow's stage 3, our first flat ish stage of the race. This will be fun for me because now we can see what sprinters and what sprinters team actually came to the race. And now we
I
can see
haven't
how
been
the
paying attention.
hierarchy lines up.
Who are? I mean, I haven't actually been. I don't know if I looked at the spinner
Um,
list yet.
I think Groenewegen there.
Oh, let me good.
I'm sure there'll be a random Italian guy that will struggle to pronounce his name
Yeah.
that will throw in there. That's the only one I know. Oh, also today was the first time I heard the name Uda Brooks
Oh,
out loud today. Like, didn't we talk about Uda Brooks all last year about breaking contracts? And he was supposed to go here, but he went here, and he's going to be the next big thing. I hadn't heard his name all year, and I think he got third or hung on for something today. So that was fun. It was fun
wait,
that he's in.
was he last season's bad boy?
I think it
Or am
was
I
a
think
bad boy. Yeah,
he
cycling
is a
also
bad
needs
boy?
a bad boy.
Yeah, I think we might have him. I'll have to go back. I'll have
Oh,
to
yes.
revisit Udabrooks. Yeah,
Uda
because you're right.
Brooks.
I
Remember
vaguely
that
remember him
year
now from last year.
Ricardo Rico won the
Yeah,
Giro or was in the mix, and he just was like the ultimate bad news guy. And then he flamed out perfect. But he was awesome. He was a great
yeah.
cycling bad boy.
He was the closest thing Italy has to a Kenny Powers. It was pretty good.
We need that. Dan, we need hot chicks and we need a
Yeah,
Italian
this is definitely
Kenny
we're
Powers.
a Danny McBride vehicle in the works for sure. So
We need an ugly American in the Giro as well. Throw that in there too. We're only on stage 2. It could happen.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you like for tomorrow?
Well, shit, I don't know. Now that you said, I mean, if Groenewegen, I guess if he's in the race, then that's what I'm going to pick because
Mm,
he's a sprinter I know, frankly. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I think we're going to get a lot of very pretty countryside. I think things will mellow out a little bit tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get like um, we'll have to compare feeds tomorrow too to see where things come down on the hookless debate, what the Aussies make of it, what the
Oh
Aussies
yeah.
call hooklies, because I'm assuming they call them hookies. Um,
Right, right. Everybody has different terms for things
or
too.
something that's vaguely like sexual in nature too, and they don't really know. It's like, well,
Right.
he's got a slippery hooky down there. It's really, it's
Australians are like kind of weird, casual, horny bastards.
yeah, but they
All
don't seem
these
to know it.
terms.
Like,
Right. They're the kid like when you were in school and you had a friend and you'd be driving in your mom's car and he still has no filter. He's still
yeah,
cursing in the car. Like, dude, shut up. My mom's here. That's what Australians are.
no, I mean I wasn't lying when I said like the parting words of today's broadcast were "podgy in the pink," and I'm like, I don't know if we should be talking about that.
So many ways to go with
Yeah.
the pink jersey of the Giro.
Uh-huh.
Well, who knows? By next broadcast, I may be another HBO Max subscriber again, Dan.
Oh, do you want to? So I could. I'm happy to save it for tomorrow if you like. But would you want to see my Kalma Jane
Oh
background
yeah,
photo,
let's take a
my
look.
important screenshot. We can always just get rid of this.
Let's
But
take a look at Dan Dowling's image of the day.
damn it. Here we go. Choose background. There we go.
So
This
this
is
guy
obviously
was.
from Saturday.
Oh, this was
This is
Saturday, right? Also, the Giro started on Saturday, and it tripped me out. I was
yeah,
like, I thought it started on Sunday, and it was already on. This guy was in the break, and he
yeah.
started to get
Comedy.
super. He started to get super arrow and stuck his tongue out and put his chin on
Yeah,
his.
he looked to be looking his screen, and I'm like, oh, he's hamming it up for the camera. So, but then I looked it up, and that's a French market Garmin. And touchscreens by law in France, they have to be operable by your tongue.
What?
Like most things French. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. If you can't operate a computer while holding a cigarette in a Burgundy, there will be protests. So
Oh,
that's
good.
he's
See,
not
that's
he's
another
not
Giro
being funny.
rule.
He's just being French.
Uh huh.
And
Wow,
so there's
another Giro rule we didn't know about.
yeah, Dowling's Cultural Corner is what we're going to
Yeah,
call this
give
segment.
him a jersey.
Yeah, he should get one.
He needs a baguette in his back pocket.
Yeah, yeah, jersey. Yeah, red jersey.
Well, stage 3 is tomorrow. That was 10 minutes of Giro, plus a few extra ones there.
Right.
We're going to do this twice a week, Dan. So we'll see
Sweet.
everybody in a few days. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.
Ma si beve whisky and soda, o ti senti disturbato?